So the session is for total quality management, which is one of the important aspects from operations management. So we all know what is total, right? Total is totality. Quality is achieving excellence in what you do, and managing is managing the excel in total. Now, what comes to your mind when we talk about quality? So can anyone contribute? Like, what is quality in your opinion? Victor, I have those who are attending the meeting. It would be great if you make some contribution and we can have discussion. Uh, it won't be just theoretical concepts as such. Because it's a seminar, I want everyone to contribute and interact with me so that we can have the session meaningful. We can make the session meaningful. Anyway, moving to the next slide. So first, what all we will be discussing for the seminar. That is the introduction of total quality management and concepts of TQM, benefits of TQM, characteristics of TQM, key elements of TQM, and then TQM in pharma industry, advantages, disadvantages, conclusions, references. So these are the outline of presentation. Now coming to the introductory part of total quality management, let us divide the entire concept into three meaningful words, that is total. What is total? It is whole, everything. So whenever we talk about quality, for example, if we talk about the quality of toothpaste, then the quality of the toothpaste doesn't alone contribute to the quality of the product which a company is selling. It is the quality of a salesman, it is the quality of the after sales service, it is the quality of suppliers, it is the quality of raw materials, it is the quality of marketing. See here, quality is whole, right? So that is why we cannot just focus on the product. We need to focus on the marketing aspects. We need to focus on the branding aspects. We need to focus on distribution aspects. See, everywhere we need to consider this quality. So that is why we have this. It is whole thing. It is not just about a product. Now, what is quality? Quality is degree of excellence a product or service providers. So here it is the excellence which you are going to achieve in a product or a service which you have rendered, right? And management, we all know it is the continuous process of planning, controlling, or planning, organizing, controlling, and actuating or directing, right? So it is an art, yes. So here in total quality management, what we'll be doing, we'll be managing the quality aspects from the 360-degree point of view. We'll be managing right from idea generation to the marketing and to the distribution and to the after sales service. The entire process is continuous and it is never ending. Quality is not that once you have achieved and yes, your achievement is done. No, it is not that way. Here it needs to be continuous. In Japan, we have a terminology called as Kaizen. Now, what is Kaizen? Kaizen is a continuous improvement. Yes, you cannot stand still that yes, I have achieved this level, I have achieved the quality, I'm done with the quality. No, you need to maintain it. So that is what the total quality management concept talks about. Moving further, um, here as I told you, when we think of the concept of PQM, first we need to focus on producing quality work for the first time itself. It is not that you are doing some trial and error. Now, I have done the fittings of a machinery for the first time, so that is why I will be having excuse. No, that is not the way. In TQM, if you are doing it for the first time, prepare well for it and then you do it. It is prevention is better than cure. Total quality management always comes with the concept of prevention is better than cure, right? So whenever you are doing the work for the first time itself, try to commit of having a quality work. And whatever you do, you should focus on the customer. because ultimately now customer satisfaction is the old thing. The new trending thing is customer delight. Now when you make the customer delight, how they are going to be delighted? Quality is one of the aspects by which the customer is going to be delighted. Now, quality is not your concept. Quality is what the customer is assuming. Yes, if you are selling a toothpaste to a customer, now what is a customer expecting? He expects or she expects the toothpaste to clean, to give overall cleanness to the teeth and to nurture the gum and then prevent the bad odor of the mouth. Yes, this is what. If it fails to do so, and if it fails to kill the odor of the mouth even after first wash, then the quality is not maintained. And these days we have different flavors in toothpaste, isn't it? So here, with that flavor, it should do all the basic functioning. Now here, what you are doing, you are considering the needs and wants of the customer. You are seeing how your competitors are doing in the market. What is the, what is their way of convincing the customer, and how is that they are, selling the product or services with what quality. Now here, that is what you need to focus on the customer. You need to have a you attitude when you are producing a quality product or a service. Now, you need to have a strategic approach to improvement. It cannot be an ad hoc. So planning is a prerequisite for adopting total quality management in any organization. You need to plan quality aspects. You need to consider quality standards, benchmarking, and accordingly, you need to organize all the materials needed. You need to train your HR. You need to, update your machineries. You need to update your distribution channels, isn't it? So you need to make lots of strategies. Now, by doing all these things, you also need to consider what is the cost you are going to incur, whether it is adding more to the cost or it is optimizing your cost. What is that you are doing, right? So that strategic approach is needed in total quality management, and it will come if you plan it well. It will be successfully executed. And as I told you, quality is not a one-time activity. It is a continuous activity. So that is what I told a word called Kaizen. K-A-I-Z-E-N. Kaizen. What is Kaizen? This is a Japanese word which tells that Kaizen means continuous improvement. So you need to improve continuously. You have performed better for the first quarter. That doesn't mean that you are sleeping in the second quarter. No, you need to perform better than the first quarter, or at least same to the first quarter. But you cannot, expect your performance to go beyond the first quarter, isn't it? So encourage mutual respect, encourage the teamwork, because quality cannot be, established by one alone person. It is a teamwork at the end of the day. Now you need to, as a strategist of an organization, you need to communicate the quality aspects to your teams effectively, and you should ensure, as a manager or as a head of the organization, you need to ensure that everybody is accepting the quality standards which is being prescribed. Okay, moving to the next slide. So let us go through the definitions. The first definition is total quality management has been defined as an integrated organizational effort designed to improve quality at every level. See here, there is a one key term, every level, quality at every level. So that is what? It is not just quality management, it is total quality management. It is an integrated organizational effort. It is not that one person is only making an effort. It is entire team, entire organization which is making an effort, which is designed priorly, that is planned priorly. Why it is planned? It is planned to improve the quality at every level, every aspect of the organization. Be it could be the strategies, be it could be the organizational hierarchy, be it could be the productivity of your employees, be it could be the productivity of the machinery, it could be the raw materials which you are using, it could be packaging, it could be the brand ambassador whom you are selecting for your product. everything. It is a totality. Yes. So the second definition is it is the process to produce a perfect product by a series of measures require an organized effort by the entire company to prevent or eliminate errors at every stage in production. When you are producing a product, it is not that at the end you are going to check. When everything has happened, what is the use of checking the product? You need to check it when it is getting prepared, so that even if it is a small error, you are rectifying it, right? So that is what the total quality management comes with. But whereas in operations management, we have a concept wherein after everything, you would be just making an inspection, right? You would be making inspection, you would be checking the product. If it matches with your benchmark, you will be selecting, or else you will be discarding it, or you will be rejecting it. But in total quality management, at every step, in every process, the product is evaluated, the product is examined, right? And this, if there are any errors, then those errors are rectified as such. Now, according to International Organization for Standards, define TQM as TQM is a management approach for an organization centered on quality based on the participation of all its members and aiming at long-term success through customer satisfaction and benefits to all members of the organization and to the society. So this is a holistic definition which covers everything. It has included society, it is talking about customer satisfaction. Why you need to satisfy the customer? Because you need to develop the customer loyalty. You want a positive word of mouth from your customers, right? So when they spread positive word of mouth, that is definitely going to impact, or that is definitely, going to attract the other customers, and your existing customers are going to bring new customers for your company. When these things are going to happen, these things happen only when you are producing a quality product, right? And when you produce the quality product, you are also considering the societal well-being. Yes, societal well-being. You are not giving any poor quality products, and you are not putting the lives of customers into the danger. What you are doing, you are giving the best product through the total quality management. Now, what are the characteristics of TQM? See, TQM is a process. Moreover, a process, it is a discipline which at which each and at every level of organization, every person, every including machinery, every process has to adhere to this discipline. Now, how you will be disciplined? Only when you have committed management, when you have a commitment, right? So total quality management seeks what? It seeks a commitment to improve continuously. So for that, you need to have a committed management. You cannot deny of having, the best, you cannot deny of having the best quality products, isn't it? And once you are committed to give the quality product, what you will be doing? You will be adopting and communicating about the total quality management principles which you want to adopt. Or as a strategist of the organization, if you want to adopt something in terms of total quality management, you need to communicate it effectively. Now, communicating effectively is also one of the quality aspects. If you won't communicate effectively, if any miscommunication happens, this miscommunication is again going to spoil the quality of the procedure, quality of the product, quality of productivity of your human resource, everything. It is going to spoil everything. So the basic blueprint is planning. After planning, you need to communicate this plan effectively to your team or to your organization, right? If you have a good communication amongst your organization, and if you communicate properly about your product to your customers, only then the total quality can be adopted. That is one of the important characteristics of TQM, adopting and communicating about total quality management. See, the best company in the world to adopt the quality aspect is Toyota, right? It is one of the automobile manufacturing company. Now, Toyota is one of the company which has initiated in adopting this Six Sigma technology, though it was uh, it was invented by Motorola as such, but then it was with the research team, with the help of, it was invented with the help of Motorola. But effectively adaptation of Six Sigma technique as such is being done by Toyota. They are so much total quality conscious that at every step, everything that they seek quality, and they are doing well in their sales. It's because of the quality product. Then closer customer relations. As I told you, why you want to produce a quality product or service? Because you want to satisfy your customers. Now, what happens if you satisfy your customers? Look, your customers' relationship will be good. The CRM aspect will be at the next level. So here, you will be very close to your customers. Customers will rely on you. They will not only rely on you, but a loyalty as such will be built, right? Then it will be having a closer provider relations. Providers are the suppliers and the distributors of your product. If you maintain the quality, suppliers will also adhere and you will have a good relations. And if you give a quality products to distribute, distributors are also the happiest people to distribute quality product to the customers, so that more and more people are going to buy those products. Now, the next characteristics is very important, that is benchmarking. What is benchmarking? Benchmarking is in any area, in any arena, there will be the one of the best practice which is been standardized, right? In any area or in any arena, there will be one of the best thing or best measurement which is standardized. Now, say for example, if we take in Olympics or Commonwealth common games, then there will be always a benchmark of a sportsman running a marathon in minimum number of seconds. Now, that will become Usain Bolt. If we take for the example, he has set the standard of running at a higher speed in few seconds, right? So, if you want to be a good runner in a marathon, then what you would be doing? You would be adopting him as your benchmark, right? So he has laid down the benchmark. That is the highest standard which one can achieve. Yes, that is the quality aspects. Now that is benchmarking. Now, as I told you, total quality management comes with continuous improvement. Now, how you can have a continuous improvement? When you adopt new things, when you want to have a consistency in the things which you have adopted. How you can do all these things? When you give a rigorous training to your HR, when you continuously train your people and update your people, only then the total quality as such would happen. And then it would be an open organization. You are empowering your employee. What you are doing, you are empowering your employee to think about the quality, to produce the quality products, to focus on their productivity. See, if they focus on their productivity, then the quality of your product or service will also enhance. So how you can do? You can empower them. Maybe you can ask them to have their own quality circles. These are all concepts which we are going to discuss further. See, quality circles, what they do. Here, some few people amongst employees, they make a group. They discuss the quality, the work done for the day, how best they could have been done, what was achieved for the day, and what could be achieved for the next day, planning. So here, why they are doing? Because they are having that feel of empowered. When you ask people to give a quality thing, you need to empower them. And you will be having a flexible production because everything is planned, everything is bound to quality. So errors will be less. It would be like a zero tolerance if you are going to have a total quality management, and you are having more flexible production in terms of number of products you are going to produce, number of services you are going to render for a day if you are giving the quality thing. And as I have told you, total quality management is at every level. So every process we have an improvement, and as there is a benchmarking for every level, there will be benchmarking, and whatever activity is done, it will be measured, it will be compared then and there itself. If it is not matching, it will be corrected on the spot. Gone are the days wherein we used to wait for the end product, inspect it, what is wrong. No, those are all old things. We are correcting the things then and there itself, because that is how by doing that we can achieve the total quality as such. Now coming to the traditional approach and TQM. So earlier the definition of quality was only confined to product. As I told you, it was only confined to product. Now we are considering customer, we are keeping in mind what customer wants, what customer will think if I give such product, what he expects from the product, how I can satisfy the customer, right? So that is what the TQM is completely different from the traditional approach. Now in traditional aspect, the priorities were second to service and cost. Quality was second to service and the cost. But now quality is considered above than your service and cost. Whatever might be the cost, if you are adopting TQM, you will be adhering with all the things, and you want the quality, and the quality should be given prioritized more than the service and cost. Because if you prioritize quality, then everything will fall in there, right? So there will be, zero wastages because of zero tolerance and because of continuous improvement. Though the cost might exceed, but the cost of errors would come down, right? And decisions, earlier it was short term to produce certain product or service. Now TQM is a long term because it is it is continuous improvement. So earlier, as I told you, we used to have only inspection. We used to detect once the product was completely done. Now in TQM, we have the saying in English called as prevention is better than cure. Now the same thing is adopted in total quality management, wherein at every level the product is checked and it is implemented. Errors, coming to errors, it was only detected in operations, but now errors are detected everywhere in the entire system, in the entire organization, so that it will be a flawless product or a service which a company is going to hand over to the customer at the end of the day, just to achieve the customer delight, so that customer delightness would attract more customers and would increase the base of customers. If the base of customers increases, then the sales revenue will also increase, right? So responsibility, earlier it was only for the quality control department, but now if you have adopted TQM, then quality is the responsibility of every person, starting from the security of the organization till the delivery boy of the organization and the service or repair person, the person who fixes things on behalf of company, till him, everybody is responsible for the quality. Now you cannot do the scapegoat, or you cannot scapegoat someone saying that it is done by this department or that department, or only quality control department is responsible. No, everybody is responsible for the quality. Now problem solving, it was only confined to managers in traditional approach, but in total quality management, every team is involved in problem solving. So manager's role in traditional approach was to plan, assign, control, and enforce. But in TQM, what a manager would do, he would delegate, he would coach. That is what training. Training is one of the important characteristics of TQM, and facilitate the things which are required to build the quality aspects, and mentor them. Instead of supervising them, they would be mentoring. See, supervising is different, mentoring is different, right? Mentoring is you are coaching and you are nurturing and you are empowering the employee. When you empower the employee will have that belongingness towards the quality of a product or service which is produced in the organization. When you develop that belongingness for a customer, definitely they would focus on the building the quality product or service, right? So what are the three aspects of total quality management? Counting, customers, culture. So what do you count? You count tools, techniques, and training in their use for analyzing, understanding, and solving quality problems. You will make counting, you will compare it with the benchmark, and then you rectify the things. The second thing is customers, because quality is perception of a customer ultimately. What is quality? It is the perception of a customer. Yes, so customer should feel that it is a quality product or service. If they don't feel it, whatever you do is waste at the end of the day. So that is what quality for the customer as a driving force and a central concern is one of the important concept of total quality management. Now, this TQM focuses mainly on culture, because ultimately to achieve a perfect total quality management, teamwork is required. So shared values and beliefs expressed by leaders that define and support quality is one of the essential aspects of total quality management as such. So what are the principles of TQM? The first principle is produce quality work the first time and every time. It is not that you are only doing it for the first time. Every time you do a work, you should do it as the first time and you should do it as the last time. So what does this mean? I hope it is confusing. See, I hope you all know Steve Jobs, right? Founder and founder member of Apple Incorporation. So once somewhere he has quoted that work as if it is your last day. Think that it is your last day. You have limited time, and then based on that, you should give one of the best work, best thing which you could do in the world, right? So whenever you are doing some work, ensure that even if it is for the first time or even if it is for the second time, think that you are doing it for the first time and you are doing it with the perfection. You are following everything, right? So that is the principle of TQM. And the second is for whom you are doing so much circus is for just to delight the customer. So focus on the customer. As I told you, what is quality? Quality is the perception of a customer about the product or a service. What perception? Perception is whether the product is better, best, worst, or excellent. Now, how a customer would tell it? Only based on these perceptions. So you can have a generalized perception of a customer who are expecting certain things in the product or service. So the second principle is you should always focus on the customer, because they are the people who are going to use this product or service at the end of the day. Have a strategic approach to improvement. Without planning, you would fail. So total quality management is the discipline. For that discipline, you need to plan well. You need to have a strategic approach. Ad hoc, you cannot have anything, or see, ad hocly, you cannot make anything. As it is told, you cannot build a kingdom overnight, right? That sounds good only in fairy tale. You cannot build a kingdom overnight. You need to make lots of strategies. Similarly, you cannot build a quality overnight. You need to strive for it. You need to have a discipline for it. You need to have a commitment. And to do all these things, you need to have a strategic approach. Yes, and ensure that this is not the first time or this is not the last time. This is every day, every time you are improving yourself, right? And encourage mutual respect and teamwork. So the first key element is focus on the customer. Customers. See, these are the only people whom you need to keep in your mind while building the quality. So identify who are the customers of your organization. Then external customers consume the organizational product or service. So internal customers, see again, when we are talking about customers, there are two categories. One is external and the other one is internal. External is who is directly consuming this product or service. Internal is They are the employees of your organization who receive the output of other employees, right? So you need to focus on the customer. See, if the external customer wants something, whether your internal customers are ready to give it or not, whether they understand that concept or not, whether they will adhere with that particular concept or not, with the concept of that quality or not. So focus both on internal customers as well as external customers. So employee involvement is one of the essential part because it is a teamwork. Since the quality is considered the job of all employees, it is done at every level and everybody is responsible for the quality because the name itself suggests it is a total quality management. Hence, employees should be involved in quality initiatives. See, frontline employees are likely to have the close contact with the customers, so that is why they can make the valuable inputs. They can give you the valuable inputs, and they can also throw light on what is the perception of your product or service in the minds of a customer. What is that they actually want? They can give you the gaps. They can actually state you what can be improved. So considering frontline employees is very essential in PQM, and everybody, not only frontline employees, you need to consider every employee at different levels of quality so that you are having total quality in your organizations. So here, employees must have the authority to innovate and improve the quality. Yes, because it is a teamwork. It is not that you are preparing a strategy and you are asking your employees to follow it. No, a total quality management doesn't work like that. See here, you could see a beautiful picture. It is the only way to achieve the total quality is improvement and continuous improvement. Every miles, every seconds, every minutes, every kilometers, everywhere, whatever you do, you need to improve. Continuous improvement. Kaizen. Kaizen is the only possible way to achieve the total quality as such. Okay. So what is this continuous improvement? For total quality management mission, continuous quality improvement is the vision of total quality management is continuous quality improvement. Now, how you can achieve it? You need to have a quality improvement team who would focus on what is the benchmarks, what is that it needs to be achieved. You need to have a total participation from each and every member of the organization. You need to focus on customer, and the problem solving should be systematic. You should focus appropriately, and you need to have this SQC, that is statistical quality control, wherein quantitatively you are measuring the quality of your product and service, and you are actually measuring and you are defining what is the quality, right? The quantitative terminologies, whatever you get, would define the qualitative aspect of your product and services. There are many techniques, right? One of the techniques is, I gave the example of Toyota, that is Six Sigma technology, right? The Six Sigma technology is going to have a 0.001% of error, and in some companies they are going to have 0.05% error. It depends how much error they are willing to accept, because ultimately errors are going to happen, but what is the level of error you are going to accept, what is your tolerance level, and even if that error is happening, it is not going to make a major changes as such, right? So continuous improvement, see, the quest for quality is a never ending process. See here, people are continuously working to improve. I think we have talked a lot about continuous improvement. I'll just skip this. So how it can be achieved? We all work as a process, whether it is a production or business, everything should be viewed as a process. And this process could be anything, right? From purchasing, design, invoicing, anything. So what is that? You need to have an input, process it, and you are going to have an output. So in this three important procedures, you need to have a quality aspect. You need to have a process improvement to have a increased customer satisfaction. So how you can improve? It is in 5 ways. One is reduce resources. Too many resources would would only comfort the people, right? So if you want to improve yourself, you should always come out of your comfort zone. That is one thing. And having unnecessary resources is also adding to your cost, and it is also taking lots of space. It is it requires lots of expenditure to be done. So plan your resources, reduce errors. Errors are going to happen. I'm not denying that. In total quality management we are going to have a zero error. No, there's nothing like that. If we had done a zero error, then that means either we are God or we have not done anything in the life. If we have never done anything error, or if we have not done any mistake in our life, that means either we are God or we have not tried anything in the life, isn't it? So it applies to your company also. Errors are bound to happen. Rectify then and there itself. Try to reduce the errors, right? And meet the expectations of downstream customers. Understand what are their needs and wants to the research, to your internal customers, and then make the process safer. And because employees will be involved and they want safety, so that safety, not only you should give it to your external customers, but also you should give it to your internal customers, that is to your employees. Make process more satisfying to the person who is doing it. The person should love to do this process because of the quality aspects which is being imbibed, or which is observed in every level of production or conversion of input into a desired output. So the objective of total quality management system is continuous improvement. Total quality management is continuous improvement, and without continuous improvement, you are not going to achieve the total quality management as such. So how you can have a continuous improvement? You need to adopt 3 principles. First, you need to focus on customers, like what are their needs, wants, what is the perception of the quality in their mind, and what is they are actually looking, what is the quality according to them in a product or service. That you need to understand. If you understand it, then 50% of your work is done. Rest 50% is only to procure the things and start doing the work and maintain the quality at every level of processing input to the desired output. And then process improvement, you need to improve your process at every level, and you need to have that total involvement. So what are the elements required to achieve all these things? One is manager. The person who is leading them need to be a good leader, because leader is the one who coaches the people, who mentors the people. He doesn't supervise and he doesn't delegate the work. What he does, he coaches and he mentors. So there is lots of difference between coaching and supervising, mentoring. So these are all different dimensional words which have different meanings, right? And educate, train, give a supportive structure to your employees. Communicate, because without communicating what quality you are desiring in a product or service, things cannot change, right? And if people achieve it, reward them, recognize them, and whatever work you do, you measure it, right? When you measure it, you will only know it. Without measuring, you cannot know it. It is like, I have done a lots of work today. Now that statement itself is ambiguous. What is the work you have done for the day? You need to measure it, how much you have done, right? So you cannot do one piece of work entire day or for 8 hours. You need to have a confinement, or you need to define in what time it has to be done. Yes, so it is a serious thing which one should adopt. And what are the benefits of PQM? So it will improve your quality, and employee will participate, they will feel empowered, and lots of teamwork will happen. there would be a good relationship with your providers, suppliers, customers if you give the quality. And ultimately, you are going to achieve the customer satisfaction and employee satisfaction. If these two people are satisfied, they will never leave you. That we need to understand, whether it is employee or customer. Employee retention is as important as customer retention, because if customers are retained and if there are no employees to work for you, then you cannot achieve the goal or you cannot do the sales. So that is why employee satisfaction is also very important. Yes, and you need to enhance the productivity. Now, what is the productivity? Achieving more things at a lesser inputs, right? Or achieving the benchmark things with the optimum resources. Yes, and communication will happen effectively if you decide what I'm going to do. If you are clear with your thoughts, only then you can communicate it properly. And why you are satisfying the customers? To increase your sales, isn't it? When you increase the sales, the profitability will also enhance. When the profitability enhances, your market share will also enhance. Everything will enhance. It would be a total overall good picture. But what it needs a discipline. You need to have that discipline. You need to have that commitment to adopt yourself to the total quality management as such. I have just picked a case of pharmaceutical industry. Now, why it is important to adopt TQM in pharma industry? See here, when you are handling, because why specifically I chose this is, there are so many delicate things and there are so many things which has to be carefully handled in pharmaceutical industries. So how handling can be done? If any one of you are working in pharmaceutical industry, you will know it. See, containers should be opened carefully and subsequently resealed in an approved manner, because they are all chemicals. And highly sensitizing materials such as penicillins and cephalosporins should be handled in a separate production areas. Highly active or toxic APIs like certain steroids, cytostatic substances should be manufactured in a dedicated area, and it should not be generalized manufacturing as such. And using a dedicated equipment is important. Pure and final API should be handled in an environment giving adequate protection against contaminations, right? So that is one thing. Storage security, storage facility should be designed for use to prevent damage or deterioration of materials, and these should be kept clean and tidy and subject to appropriate pest control measures. And environmental controls should be recorded, because as I told you, the quality is not only in terms of the product or service, it involves everything. So environmental conditions are also very important. Ensure that because of your chemicals, you are not going to affect the outside environment. And even if you are affecting it, ensure that you are not doing it at the maximum level, because ultimately it is in pharmaceutical, it's all about chemicals. You need to be careful. The condition of store material should be assessed at appropriate intervals, because the tendency of molecular activity is higher in chemicals, and changing their nature would change when the reactions would happen. So you need to assess the condition of the stored material as such. Storage conditions for API should be based upon stability studies taking into account time, temperature, humidity, light. So these are the measurement tools which can be used to measure the quality of the API products or pharmaceutical industries. Now, packaging is important aspects in pharmaceuticals, because labeling and packaging projects should be defined and controlled to ensure correct packaging of materials are used. Correct packaging materials are used correctly, and other specified requirements are met. So printed labels should be securely stored to avoid mix-ups arising. So marking and labeling should be legible and durable. Provide sufficient information for the customer, like how to use the dosage, briefly giving the shelf life, directions to use, directions to store, everything should be given, because you're not just giving a medicine to them, you are giving a chemical, right? So not customers may be learned, or they may not be educated about it. So don't think that everybody is educated. Just ensure that you are giving a proper guidelines, like how to use it, not only how to use it, how to store it, and how to discard it. Right? This is very important in pharmaceuticals. Provide sufficient information for accurate identification and indicate, if appropriate, required storage conditions, pre-text or expiry date, everything should be given. And the facilities and equipment, the location, design, and constructions of buildings should be suitable for the type and stage of manufacture involved. So protecting the product from contamination, it could be cross contamination also, and protecting the employees who are producing this is also very important. You are giving them helmets, you are giving them gloves, you are giving them masks, you are giving them all the protection equipments wherein they are using it while producing it. Even they should not be harmed in any way. So equipment surfaces in contact with materials used in API manufacture should be non-reactive. You should ensure that you are giving them quality, security materials which employees are using while producing the product. And about this sterile area, personnel suffering from an infectious disease or having open lesions on the exposed surface of the body should avoid activities which could compromise the quality of API. And smoking, eating, drinking, chewing, and storage of food should be restricted to the designated areas. Why I'm telling all these things, in total quality measurement, you could see all the signboards which will be displayed in certain area, access restricted, employees only, or something like that. Why it is done? Just to keep that area sterile, right? So that is why we'll be having all those signboards. Now, those signboards are also one of the important inputs for total quality management as such. Labeling. So each container should be identified by an appropriate label showing at least the product identification and the assigned batch code or any other easily understandable combination of both. So containers for external distribution may require additional labels. So labeling is important, very important in pharmaceuticals. And computerized systems should be designed and operated to prevent unauthorized entries or changes to the program, just for security and safety, so that things are not mixed up. And in case of manual entry of quality critical data, there should be a second independent check to verify accuracy of the initial entry. A backup system should be provided for all the quality critical data as such. Now, what are the advantages of TQM? It improves reputation, faults, and problems are spotted and sorted quicker, as I told you. Then and there itself, the error is rectified. You will not be waiting for it to get manufactured and come, and you will not be inspecting. The term inspection as such is not there in the total quality. You would examine at each and every level and you evaluate it, you correct it, right? So a higher employee morale gives workers motivation by extra responsibility, and the teamwork and involvement in decisions of total quality management would motivate the employees to do the best work. And when you rectify the errors, the cost of errors is going to get reduced, and your overall cost will also come down. And when you enhance the productivity, maybe the human resource required will be also less, and decrease waste or as a fewer defective products, and no need for separate things. And disadvantages is initial introduction cost is a much, because you are introducing it at every level and you need to train everyone. Now that comes with the own cost, right? And the benefits is not immediate. As I told you, you cannot build a kingdom overnight. Yes, you need to struggle, you need to strategize, you need to motivate people. It is not that easy. So total quality management is also like that. It is not that today you have introduced total quality management, by evening everything is quality oriented. No, It will gradually take, and you could see the entire results only after few years, not after few seconds. And sometimes workers may resist to change because change is not that easy. Adopting the change is not that easy. So initially, organization may face resistance from the workers, but again, it depends upon the kind of a manager you have, whether he's a manager or he's the best coach. So you need to pick your best manager to coach your team, not your employees, right? So that is how you can overcome the disadvantages. So the model for organization management is focus on the customer, plan the process, and then manage the process, improve the process, and then have a total participation from everyone. So models of TQM are quality improvement teams and tools and techniques, quality systems. This together, when involved in a process, it will have a good communication network. There would be a commitment from everybody, and it will lead to a participative culture. That is how we are going to have a total quality management. Now, benefits of total quality management, it includes lower cost, it increases the returns on sales. I have explained it a lot. And the second one is improve access to global markets. When you are going to achieve that benchmark, you will be automatically open to the global markets, because in global markets, everything needs to be standardized. Now, only standardized products are accepted in the global markets. When you are adopting this total quality management, you're opening yourself to the global markets. You can have higher customer retention levels. And time required to develop new innovations and reputations as a quality firm. And the total quality management is one such approach that improves quality and performance, which will meet your customer expectations. Because what is quality? Quality is the ultimate perception of the customer about a product or service. So we have come to the conclusory part. TQM, it encourages participation amongst employees. It manages and organizations as a whole. So using management, quality management, it reduces rework because you are rectifying then and there itself. You are not waiting for the end product. Nearly to zero in an achievable goal. This is achievable. It is not that something impossible. The responsibilities, either it's professional, social, legal one, that trust with the pharmaceutical manufacturer for the assurance of quality of product are tremendous, and it can only be achieved by well organized. So before adopting total quality management, plan it properly, schedule it, strategize it, and only then implement it. Yes, work culture would improve, would positively engage your employees. Employees who are positively engaged are always empowered. Empowered employees are always an asset to the organization. These assets to the organization will be having a high employee morale. Yes, and it should be realized that the national and international regulations must be implemented systematically and to the process as well. The control should be practiced rigorously. So thus, quality is critically important ingredient to organizational success, which can be achieved by total quality management. See, total quality management, it is not only in an organization. In your personal life also, you can adopt total quality management, whether it is few tools like, as I was having limited time for a 1 hour, I could not discuss the tools and techniques. One of such technique is 5S, wherein you sort, you segregate, you standardize, then you would everything should be sorted, well organized. You would eliminate the waste, right? You would do it. Those are called as 5S: Seri, Setom, Shisuke, Shiketsu. So there are 5S in total quality management, which will help you to achieve the things, right? And then not only 5S, we have this something called as fishbone techniques. which is also called as a cause and effect technique, which you will be using. If there is a problem, what is the cause of that problem, how it is going to affect your organization. So you are seeing both, what is the cause and what is the effect. So based on that, you can realize what could be done. Yes, these are all simple tools and techniques, and with the help of benchmark, you can measure it, you can compare it, you can measure it, you can rectify it. So this is about total quality management. If you have any doubt, please let me know. It is not only about one time. Anyway, the session is recorded for you. Even if you have any doubt, you can post your doubts in the chat. I would be answering all those doubts. And you can go through this recording. You can hear it whenever you want. And that's what. This is from my end about total quality management. I hope I threw light on what was needed in this seminar. I thank Asbury University for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.